What's going on YouTube? Flight Simulation Experience back for another stream in the all new World Update, or excuse me, Sim Update 11 from Microsoft Flight Simulator. And we're in the most flown plane right now in the simulator, which is the IniBuilds Airbus A310-300, I believe. And this aircraft, although she is a huge handful and quite the learning curve, quite the learning curve to fly, it has been an absolute joy to fly. Still learning, got most of it down, but yes, this airplane has been a joy to fly. I've done about 4 flights so far, and the first couple weren't the greatest. I mean, the setup and the takeoff is all pretty straightforward to me. Now that's kind of coming pretty simple for the most part. The arrival though and the landing, the RNAV approaches are a little bit tricky. It's definitely a high fidelity aircraft, and you need to there's definitely a learning curve. So we're gonna go ahead and kill the music for right now, and we're gonna now jump inside the pit. As you can see, here's our fuel guy asking us how much fuel, because I did click on the fuel for the pushback Pro. Just did it for the animation though, just to see this guy come up, even though we're going to fuel the aircraft inside the EFB, the electronic flight bag, inside of the inside of the airplane. And as you can see, he thinks we're all done. That's why he's taking off, and he's going to probably drive right through our airplane. Oh no, he's going right through the Sky Chef's catering. Okay, so first things first, I need to come up front, and I need to go to the EFB, which is right here, and we need to open up a door. We're in a cold and dark state, by the way, and we need to open up bulk cargo, I believe it is. No, excuse me, forward cargo. So we're going to go ahead and open up forward cargo. No, let's do that again. So this door is now opening for the baggage crew. With Pushback Pro, there isn't. I don't believe that has an option. So as we can see, we are getting our luggage loaded inside the aircraft, and I would have to say the modeling on this airplane is pretty spectacular. I mean, I think I nailed it. The external, and even in the cockpit, the modeling and just the level of detail is superb. I mean, this airplane no doubt is a payware airplane in the range of 70 to even upwards up to possibly even $100 that I would pay for if this wasn't a free airplane with the Sim Update 11. So this is the only thing I've been flying for the last week. In the sim. Apologize, I have not been able to get to any streaming lately. So while our outside crew is doing their thing, let's go ahead and jump into the pit, and let's just go through our startup procedures. So we're not going to load any passengers in quite yet. We're just going to come up here and we're just going to fire up the aircraft. So we're going to go with BAT 1, BAT 2, and BAT 3. External power is available, as we have our external power guy outside the truck. So as you can hear, the airplane comes to life. The sounds in this airplane, once again, I absolutely nailed it. Let me just double check a few things here. Okay, we're good there. Just want to make sure everything looks good on the stream, which it does. Yeah, so I nailed it with the sounds in this. We're going to go ahead and get the crew supply oxygen. You can go to the on position as it goes to the green range here, which is good. And we're also going to get our galley supply on as well. And we're going to get our ADIRs set to the nav position, so there's nav 1, nav 3, and then nav 2. So we're all good up here. So let's come on and scroll down. We're going to go over and get our seatbelt signs to the on position, as well as the non-smoking lines to the on position. Go ahead and turn, actually we'll keep the strobe off. We're going to go ahead and turn the beacon light on, and maybe get nav set to 1 position. We can also get our window heats to the on position as well, and everything else here is pretty much good for right now. So the overhead panel has been complete. We have initial power into the aircraft. We can remove this yoke if we want to get down to our FMC. Alright, so our IRSs are starting to align. Now we can go to our knit ref page, and we can Um, with my SimBrief account under menu, ACARS, it keeps saying pending here. I need to figure out why that is. It should go right to the flight plan that I have registered in SimBrief. And other people are having the issue. I don't know if I'm doing something wrong, but it just says pending, pending, pending every time I try to load in from the ACARS. It's totally fine though, because this is it forces me to log the flight plan in manually through this guy here, which I'm going to show you guys how we do. This airplane is old. It is a dinosaur. It is the Airbus A310-300, and it is an Airbus with a yoke. So you know, that's pretty freaking cool if you ask me. All right, so if we go to our NitRev page to initially get our bearings in here, so let's go to our flight plan and let's take a look at what we have. So we're sitting on the ground in RJOA, which is Hiroshima, and we're going over to Haneda International Airport, which is RJTT. So RJTT. So we're going to plug that in there. We're going to go to the return page, and as you can see, it took that, so which is good. Now we're going to align the IRSs. So it'll show up here. I do have IRSs set to realistic alignment time, so it's about 8 to 9 minutes. The cruise level on our flight today is, according to SimBriefs, is 350. So we're going to take it up to 350 on our cruise flight, and we are JAL 153 is our flight number. So we're going to go ahead and plug that into our flight ID. Cost index today, we're going to go to 58 for right now. We will be having a tailwind, so we should get there pretty quickly. On the flight back, we do have a headwind. Alternate route, I believe, is RJGG. It is. So that's our alternate airport in case we need to divert. RJGG. We're going to go ahead and plug that guy. Excuse me, I was supposed to go in there. Sorry. RJGG. Alright, so it took that. And from this page, we're pretty much just about done. We could put our cruise wind in. Our average cruise wind is 258 at 125. 125 on the tailwind. Holy damn. In Japan, I've done some practice flights here in Japan the last week, and the tailwinds and the headwinds have been absolutely crazy. So it's going to definitely take us 20 plus minutes on the way back from Haneda into Hiroshima because of the headwind. The tailwind, we're going to be getting to Haneda pretty quickly. So we'll go ahead and plug in 258 at 125 into our average wind. Plug that in there. Beautiful. And from here, this page is all set and complete. Now, before we even get to that, let's go to the flight plan here. Now, we're sitting on RJO. Now, we're plugging in everything manually. If SimBrief were to take what I imported in, all of our waypoints would be in. We would just have to plug in our departure and our SID. Our departure runway and our SID. So we're going to do everything manually. So we're going to go to SID. According to the winds, we definitely need to be on runway 28, I believe. Let me just confirm that real quick. Let me take a look at our winds, because sometimes SimBrief is, I don't know, man. Sometimes it doesn't seem right. So definitely the winds are pushing to the east. So if I look over here at Navigraph, by the way, Navigraph, the new charts is absolutely spectacular. So if we look at Navigraph, yes, runway 28 is definitely the right runway. So SimBrief was correct about that. So we're going to go runway 28. And I'll show you guys real quick which runway that is. See over here, Navigraph. So the winds are definitely pushing this way to the east. So we need to be taking off into the wind. So runway 28. So we're going to have our nose of the aircraft facing east. So let's go ahead and plug in runway 28. And we don't have a departure, we're just going direct. So we're going to go ahead and insert that, and then we're just going to go direct to Momot. M-O-M-O-T. We're going to go ahead and plug that guy right in there. And it's going to be the first one, more than likely. Actually, let's be good sim pilots here. Let's double check. So Momot, the coordinates according to SimBrief on Momot is November 3500. So November 35, and let's make sure it's 133. Yep, it's actually this one right here. Yep, 133 East, 35N. Let's see. Yep, I believe that's it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and plug that one in, and then from there, I hope that's it. We'll see. If we have to do a direct, we'll do a direct. From Momot, we're gonna go to Akuno. And as we can see, the FMC recognizes from Akuno, we're going direct to MITRE. So we're going to go MIDER. Now from MITRE, we're going to hop on an airway. And as you can see, airways from MITRE, those are your options. And I do show Yankee 71. So we're going to plug in Yankee 71, and it gives you the options here of, you know, where do you want to go from that airway. And we actually want to go to XAC. So XAC, beautiful, and then we are going to have an arrival. So we'll go back to, so we'll now scroll all the way down to the bottom of the flight plan to the arrival airport, and we do have a star. First, we're going to set up for the ILS 34 right, which is going to be this guy here. ILS Yankee 34 right is what we want, and it's going to be via the XAC1 Alpha. Jesus. XAC1 Alpha. So many arrivals here into Haneda. There's no transition as far as I'm aware. Nope, there's no transition. So we're going to go ahead and insert that, and we're just going to make sure everything looks correct, and everything is connected. So we'll clear this discontinuity. And there we go. And there's our alternate. So one more time. So Momot, Akuno, MITRE, Shittle, Gaki, Shoot, Top of Descent, Arctic Spens, X-Ray Alpha Charlie, Anzac, and then Tango 450, and then there's a bunch of number to Wanda, Wedge, Arlon, Cecil, Crest, into arrival 34 right, Yankee on the ILS. Beautiful. And as we could see, there's our chart. So direct to Momot. And let's just go to the plan here. And as we can see, Momot, and then it goes all the way down to all our waypoints. All right, beautiful. So we're good on the plan. Go back to map, go to 30 here. Beautiful. All right, from this point now, what we're going to do is we're now going to go to the IniBuilds page, and we're going to go to our fuel and all that stuff. So from this point, let's go ahead and let's actually fire up PAC-X. Let's start that. So let's get our number of passengers boarded. Let's go to next, and we're going to go to a custom. We don't have a JAL script, so we're just going to go with let's go with AirAsia will work. Go to open, and then we'll go ahead and start. Another thing I need to do is plug in, fire up FS Realistic. All right, cool. So we got our passengers now loading in the aircraft. All right, by the way, it is about 7:50 in the morning right now. It's not real world time in Hiroshima, but it is beautiful out there, as we can see. Okay, so at this point, let's go ahead and possibly fire up our APU. So we're going to turn our APU master switch to the on position, which is right here. And we're going to let that fire up for a minute. At this point now, we're going to go to our electronic flight bag. And as we can see, we need to plug in some numbers here. So the FMC knows that we have our departure runway in of 28. So if we just click that, it go ahead and it populates the runway length, which I believe this is in feet. Yeah, 9,809 feet. The conditions today are dry, and the runway QDM, I forgot what QDM means. Distance measured, not sure, but it populates that number here. Go ahead and enter that in. And now the winds at the runway, excuse me, at the airport here, according to the METAR report, let's go ahead and refresh it. It might have updated, and that is going to be 310 at 6 knots. So we can go ahead and plug in 310 at 6 knots. You don't have to put the slash, it's already there for you. We'll go ahead and enter that in. And the temperature at the airport right now is... Alright, so that METAR is not showing it. So let's go... There we go, that's much better. So the altimeter is 3000 and we are 4 degrees Celsius. This is actually showing 290. So let's plug in that then. 290 at 5, excuse me, is it at 5? 4 knots. So we'll go 04, enter that in there. And then we are showing a 4 degrees Celsius temperature. Go ahead and enter that in. And the altimeter is 3000. I usually forget the altimeter, so I'm going to go down to the altimeter, which is this guy right here, and we're going to go ahead and plug in 3000 right there. Boom. Beautiful. At this point now, we're going to go ahead and enter in, actually our weights are going to come up to the way they are. So our weights are going to be entered in a minute. So let's go to the weight and imbalance chart. Now, the amount of passengers that we have, according to SimBrief, which we can go to our SimBrief charts, and we can scroll down to our passenger count, is 240. I believe that's a full flight. It is 238. And the zero fuel weight is 247 at 7. So to get 247 at 7, let's first plug in our block fuel, which is 29,308 pounds. So we're going to go to 29,308. We're just going to take 29,900 to have a little bit of extra fuel to be safe. Now we're going to jack up our cargo until we hit our zero fuel weight, which is 247 at 7. So we're going to go ahead and jack this up to... As we see, we're at zero fuel weight, 247 at 3, 247 at 8. I think we're okay right there. 247 at 8. That'll work. So we're going to go ahead and plug in 247 at 8. Now what we're going to do, we're going to apply. You're going to see the aircraft boom. As you can see, the center of the CG, center of gravity, just swapped over a little bit to the front. So that means that the aircraft is now loaded. Cool. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our zero fuel weight and we're going to go back into this guy here, which this weight is actually, according to INI, which I learned this from some other streamers because everybody was wondering, do they put the CG, the zero fuel weight or the gross weight? It's actually the gross weight. So 277.8 is what we'll put here to make it accurate. 277.8, 277,800 pounds is the gross weight. So 277,800 pounds. 277.8, and we're going to go ahead and enter that in. The flaps are going to be definitely slats 15 and flaps 15. Anti-ice is going to be off for this departure, and air conditioning is going to stay on. We're going to go ahead and calculate, and yes, that does look familiar to me. When people were entering in the zero fuel weight into this option here, we were getting a V1 and rotate speed about this range, but then the V2 was like way out here. So that's what the discrepancy was, where people were a little bit confused about that. So it is definitely the gross weight according to IniBuilds, and I'm sure they're right. I would trust them over, you know, you know, other streamers. It's giving us a recording of a flex temp of 57 degrees Celsius. We will flex take off today. So V1 is 155 and rotate is 157. So we can go ahead and plug in 155 and 157. Before we do that though, let's go over here to our weights. And we currently have fuel of 30,000 pounds, 30.0. We're going to plug that in there. Zero fuel weight is 247.8.
Place your larger carry-on items in the overhead bins and smaller items underneath the seat in front of you, unless you're in a front row.
And a CG right here of 24.9er.
If you have any trouble finding a location for your carry-on items, please let a flight attendant know and we would be happy to assist.
And then a trim of 1.2 up. So we're going to come on over here to our trim. As you can see, a 0 here, 1.2, which is about right there in the up position. Scrolling this way would be in the down position, so it's going to be 1.2, which is right about there, right about there, up. That's fine right there.
If you're not, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. Feel free to use your cell phones during the rest of the boarding process.
Okay, so this page is basically done, the InitRef page. This page is all set. Now if we go to our takeoff page, if we go back to our V speeds here, it was 155 to 157, right? So 155, V1, 157, rotate. So that means our slats need to be retracted at 198, and then we need to be fully clean at 226. Excuse me. Let me correct myself. Our flaps need to be retracted at 158, and our slats need to be retracted at 198. Cool. And then we have our approach page, which we're not doing anything with now. All right, so external power is connected. So let's go ahead and start the APU, which is that button right there. We can come outside and we can hear the APU. Sounds are beautiful. All right, so it says the APU is available. Did this say it's available? Let's see here. It's not available yet. Okay. It would say available. So that's my bad. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we are going to let that continue doing its thing. And we're now going to come on down to, let's see what else we need to do. I believe we're done in the FMC here. Got our flight plan in. We have our InitRef page done and our takeoff page is done. So we're all set with the flight plan. We're going to get this guy. What else we could do here is we can come on down here. We don't need any lights. Here's our parking brake. We can go and we could set our, even though we're not on VATSIM or anything today, we can go ahead and just set our transponder to standby. That's going to ident to 2000. The weather radar in this airplane works, which is pretty freaking cool. Haven't needed to use it yet. As we can see, APU is now available. So now we're going to go ahead and swap power. There we go with that. We can come on outside here. And let's go ahead and start cleaning all these guys up. We can go to our catering, power, baggage. All those guys can go away. See, our catering truck is leaving. Catering truck here is leaving. Our power, external power unit truck is leaving. The baggage is leaving. Beautiful. This door should close automatically. All these doors should close automatically, but this forward cargo I will have to manually close in the EFB. Beautiful. So from this point, we're going to hear the packs come on automatically, which is turning on the APU bleed. All right, we're almost ready for departure here. What we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to turn on our pitch. Yaw damper is going to come on at ATS, which is going to fire up our PFD up here. Or, I'm sorry, I believe it's, I forget what the name of this panel is. we're going to come on over here and we're going to set initial cruise. If you click up, you can change this to 1,000 units. And if you click down, I believe it goes back to, I'm sorry, if you click up again, it goes to 100s. So we're going to set initial climb to, let's say 10,000 feet is fine. The runway heading now, actually let's come on down over here. So we're flexing today, right? We're doing a flex takeoff of 57 degrees. So we're going to go ahead and fire this up to 57 degrees. So plus 57 flex, which means the engines are going to work 95.6% for this takeoff. The landing altitude at Hiroshima is what? And we're going to set that. So let's go to our Navigraph charts here. And as we can see, the landing altitude is 1,067. So we're going to go ahead and plug in 1,100 feet and 278 for our heading. I love these old school gauges. So cool. All right, so we have 1,100 feet right there. We're going to go ahead and set our altimeter is set to 3000, and then we're going to set our heading bug to 278. Excuse me, it's this one. All right, 278. Now, for some reason, we need to make a decision height of -10 here. I don't understand why that is. A lot of people don't. I'm sure a real Airbus A310 pilot can answer that, but we set our decision height to -10 for takeoff. We don't do that with other airplanes. I don't know why. That's just what it says you're supposed to do in the documentation. If someone knows, please. We're going to turn on altitude constraints and then airport for our first officer. And from this point, we're almost ready to go. I know it's a lot of setup here, but it's all worth it.
We're on your time now.
All right, we're going to be departing here momentarily. So V1 is 155, V2 is rotate is 157, and V2 is 161. So we're going to do V2 plus 10. So 161 plus 10 is 171. So we're going to plug in bug 171 on our thing here. And if we come on over here, we're now going to have to go to this guy and close our door here. So this should say in transit of closing. Beautiful. And let's go ahead and do a pre-pushback plan. All right, beautiful. Now we're going to take our aircraft and go to our jetway and remove him. You can see that right here. It's kind of cool. And then we're going to go ahead and request for our pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard Flight 153 with service to Tokyo. Our flight time will be roughly 55 minutes. Now that the cabin door is
55
closed,
minutes.
Make sure that all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in the full upright and locked position for departure. Cabin crew, prepare doors for departure, cross-check, verify straps, and stand by for all calls.
All right, so we'll come on upstairs. Actually, we'll leave the fuel pumps off for right now. Let's just make sure our overhead looks good.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set.
Gonna
You
turn
may
on the
lift.
strobe.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
Everything looks good here. Probe heat stay off. Go ahead and turn on the fuel pumps right now and just get that
You're
done.
cleared for start and push.
Okay. Cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Okay, parking brake is now
Parking
released.
brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
Love how it's all quiet here. So cool. All right, so we come on up front here and start engines. We need to go to our engine start to the A position.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your
Click on
attention
start.
to the screen for an
Come
important
down,
safety
monitor
demonstration.
N2, I believe it is. So some people say 15, some people say 20. I like to have N2 push to 20, then I'll introduce fuel.
Malaysia X Airbus 330-300.
So we're at 20%, so let's go ahead and introduce
As
fuel.
safety is our utmost concern, this video will demonstrate the use of safety equipment carried on board this aircraft. Please give your full attention as the safety procedures for this aircraft may differ from other aircrafts you may have flown. Whenever the fasten seatbelt sign is on, you must return to your seat and fasten your seatbelt securely. To fasten, insert the metal tip into the buckle and tighten the belt by pulling on the buckle strap. To unfasten, lift the metal flap like this. The cabin pressure is controlled for your comfort. Should there be a change in cabin pressure, oxygen mask will automatically
Flap
drop
should have been to
from
zero.
compartment
When
above
you
the
go to the
seat.
menu setting, I went to the menu setting, and when I went to the menu setting, it deploys the flaps all the way, which is a bug in Microsoft Flight Simulator.
With a headband secured tightly around your head
Everyone's
and
having an
breathe
issue with that.
normally.
I'm kind of hearing an airplane. Is there an airplane? Your life jacket is stowed under. Alright, so it looks like we have a good start on engine number 2. So let's go ahead and fire up engine number 1.
Slip it over your head like this. Clip on the waistband and pull them
And 2
tight.
is on the rise.
Before leaving the aircraft, pull both tags sharply to inflate your life jacket. Do not inflate your life jacket until you are at the exit, as this would impede evacuation flow. Your life jacket has 2 mouthpieces for further inflation.
Alright, we're at
This
20%.
light will come on when in contact with water.
Introduce fuel.
Use this whistle to attract attention.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Evacuation slides
Parking
are
brake set.
located at
Parking
all
brake set.
exits. Take note
Parking
of where
brake
the
set.
emergency
Lowering
exits
aircraft.
are located on this aircraft. And please bear in mind that the nearest exits may be
Ground.
behind you.
Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
In the event of a landing
Roger.
on
Good engine
water,
start.
slide
Clear to
rafts are
disconnect.
located
See
at
you
all
at the side.
exits.
Have a good flight.
During evacuation,
Holding
leave
position,
your
waiting
belongings
for the visual.
behind.
Thank you
If
and
smoke is
goodbye.
present, please keep low
Hiroshima.
and follow the floor lights to the nearest exits as indicated.
Those engines, man.
Please
Woo!
take a moment to study the safety card in your seat pocket, which shows details of safety features and emergency escape routes of this aircraft. Passengers seated
Say
next
appreciate
to
to our
the
tow
emergency
guy.
exit are requested to study the operation of these exits in the safety card. As this is a non-smoking
Alright, so we
flight,
come on upstairs
do
here.
not
We can go ahead and
smoke
turn
throughout the
our
flight. Smoking in the lavatories
pro
will
pizza to the
set
on
off the
position.
smoke
This
alarm.
can go into the continuous for our
Before
engine.
takeoff and landing,
Go ahead
please
and,
ensure
as you
that
hear,
your
the
tray
packs
table
went
is
on
stowed away.
automatically. The
Your seat
APU
is in the
bleed can
upright
come to the
position
off
with your
position,
armrest down and your
and our
footrest
APU
up.
master switch can come to the
Please
off
ensure
position.
that your window
Go ahead and turn
shades
the
are
runway
fully
turn off
open
lights
with your
on.
seatbelt
Strobe can
securely
stay in
fastened.
1 right now. Taxi nose light can come to the
Before
on
takeoff
position.
and
Wing light will stay
landing,
off
please
for
ensure
departure
that all
until we get to the
portable
our
electronic
departure
devices
runway.
are turned off, as it may
And
interfere with the navigational equipment on board.
let's make sure we have everything bugged here. I believe we're all good to go. No smoking. A
Thank you
parking
for your
brake is
attention,
on.
and
Continuous.
wish you a safe
Good.
and pleasant flight.
Let's do a quick check. Left, right, spoiler. And good morning, folks, from the flight deck. Your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Japan Airlines flight. And good morning, folks, from the flight deck. Your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Japan Airlines flight. Japan Airlines flight 153 service to Haneda International Airport. 55 minutes in the air, looking at pretty nice weather along the route. Not expecting many bumps on this one. Welcome you aboard. We're going to be departing here momentarily. We're number 1 for takeoff. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure. Japan Airlines flight 153 service to Haneda International Airport. 55 minutes in the air, looking at pretty nice weather along the route. Not expecting many bumps on this one. Welcome you aboard. We're going to be departing here momentarily. We're number 1 for takeoff. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure. Alright, so
Cabin is ready.
Thank you. I need to turn on SimLink. Go ahead and remove that. And let's get SimLink to the on position here. Excuse me. Alright, cool. Ground speed's at 18. Let's go to select flaps 1 and 2. So flaps to 15, slats to 15. Slats 15, flaps 15. You can see it right here. Hear those slats coming down. Alright, we're going to go to nav and we're going to go to profile. So the aircraft is going to fly the profile that we have set up in our McDo or FMC, whatever it is. I believe it's FMC. Actually, no, it's probably a McDo. Double check our altimeter again, which it is. Why the hell did you go off? Why did SimLink just shut off right now? Let's go ahead and open that again. Okay. And let's turn you on, please. No? No, doesn't look like SimLink is working. Let's go ahead and shut that off. Ah, that's the problem. Okay. For some reason, Navigraph signed me out. Let me go ahead and sign in real quick. Let me go ahead and hold short bars here. All right, go ahead and set the parking brake. Let's go ahead and sign in. Okay, thank you. Yep. Great. Let's go back to Navigraph now. Okay, that's narrator.
Narrator dialogue. Narrator head. Exiting narrator.
That was the wrong thing. Navigraph, where are you? Navigraph, there we go. Alright, so here we are. So let's just double check. Graph, there we go. There we go. Beautiful. It recorded my thing, sorry. Alright, cool. So we're good to go now. Now we have our moving maps as well as our SimLinks. Alright, so I believe we're ready to go now. So let's go ahead and get on. Wing lights coming on, landing lights coming on, nose to the takeoff position. We're going to get fully lit up here. Everything here looks good. Nav, profile, let's go ahead and get onto the runway here. We're doing a flex of 57. And we are clear down final. Clear to the right. Let's do it, friends. So ATC would give us our direction, whether we're going to be, making a right or a left. We're going to make a left on departure and then head out to Momat. All right, chrono is coming to the on position. Let's go to about 40% on the throttle. Engines look stable, and let's go to Toga. And power is set. Airspeed is alive. Nose down pressure. 60 knots checked. 100 neutral. A little bit of a crosswind. 120 checked. 140. V1. Rotate. Positive rate. Here's coming up. All our flight directors. Actually, no, we're not following our flight directors. We're going to go straight. It wants us to go to the right because we have it in nav. We'll go ahead and shut off nav for right now. And it'll give us our heading, which is straight. And we are airborne. Let's go ahead and make a left turn. About 15 degrees pitch. Okay, I can't get to that right now. I need to focus on this. All right, we're gonna go ahead and retract our 15 flaps. You can see that, beautiful. And then speed is checked now to 198, so we're going to go ahead and retract our slats. See the slats retracting here. Beautiful. Go ahead and lock our gear. Coming up on 5,000 feet. Take our FMC here. We're going to go direct to Momot. Go ahead and insert that. See, our flight directors are now going to catch up with us here. And we can go ahead and nav, and we can go ahead and plug it on autopilot 1, and the airplane will now do the rest for us. You can see we are following our magenta line. Beautiful, everything looking good. Let's go ahead and say ATC has cleared us up to our cruise at 35,000 feet. There we are there. Go ahead and sync our bug. Beautiful. And let's enjoy this departure. Got the ocean off to the right here. All these islands are so beautiful. This is where the Shinonami Kaido bike path is. You can island hop from, what is it? I keep forgetting that. Not Mihara. It's Omiji. No, I can't remember the city here. But you basically hop from island to island. And you can rent a bike and do it. I've done it. It's absolutely awesome. A little bit of a stutter there. But just take a look at this. This is what Flight Sim is all about right here. And there is Hiroshima.
Gentlemen, we have now passed 2,000 feet. You may turn on larger portable electronic devices. This is also a reminder to keep your seatbelt fastened throughout the duration of the flight and do not form a line near the lavatory.
Just stunning. Alright, so we're at 10,000 feet. We can go ahead and turn off the landing lights, can come off, wing light can come off. Nose light should be off. Let's see if I can get it here. Nav light can go to 1. This can go to auto. Runway turnoff should have been off. Our engine, we're above 10,000. Go to the ignition off. Landing gear is locked. There's one thing I did forget. You're supposed to arm your spoilers upon takeoff. I always forget that. There's a checklist here that you can go through. For some reason with this livery, cool. I was having issues with this livery. I wasn't able to scroll up and down. It was like frozen, it was stuck. But look, it works now. So Airbus A310-300. So you can go through the checklist here. So after takeoff, climb, slats retracted, landing gear is up and in the lock position, packs are on, altimeters are set. I believe it's 14,000, which we're just getting about to that position now. 14,000 in Japan for a standard barometric pressure. And we can go ahead and probably do that any minute now. Whoops. There we go, standard, 14,000. Seatbelt signs are on, no smoking is on, so ECAM status looks good. Everything looks good. Everything is going according to plan. And that's it. Pretty much all set for right now. The airplane is going to pretty much do everything for us at this point until we get closer to our top of descent, and then we'll enter in some information. So we do have FSLTL from the wonderful fly-by-wire team, and we have live traffic, so this should be an airplane in the world right now, flying over Japan, you know, in real time as we speak, as FSLTL uses data from Flight Aware 24, I believe, to put airplanes in the world where they are in real time. So, yeah, that's an airplane really flying in Japan, over Japan right now. And yeah, when we get closer to Haneda, we might be suffering from some frames. I might have to turn off FSLTL, which would give us a good 8 to 10 frames, depending on the situation. Now, this message does come out a lot. The TAT in icing range, temperature is basically saying it's in icing range. We're at a +2, so, and there's no moisture outside. I don't see any, we're not going through any clouds or anything like that. So, we don't have to worry about that. We don't need to worry about our icing system, and if you do need icing system, it's right here. You have your engines and you have your wings right there. So. I will have to say though, this airplane is a handful upon arrival. When you go into land it, it's things happen pretty quickly, and it's definitely can be a little bit of a challenge if you're not prepared. Navigraph chart here, so direct to Momat. And we can go ahead and maybe turn the engine sounds down over here in settings, and as you can see, engines, we can turn the engines down just a little bit. See what our tailwind looks like. Passing 20,000 and tailwind 80. Yep. So we're gonna have a direct tailwind of 80 knots. All right. I'm gonna go ahead and mute the mic and turn on some tunes for you guys to enjoy. Check back in with you once we get a little closer. feet. We're still getting a little bit of rough air. Seatbelt sign is going to stay on for the duration of this flight. I do apologize. We're going to be starting our descent in about 35 or so minutes, and there's a little bit of weather reported in Narita right now. We'll keep you updated. Thank you.
For our list of complimentary and premium drinks. Premium drinks are available for a small charge. If you wish to make an additional purchase, please note that we only accept credit cards.
Alright guys, I am back and we have started our descent. Let me go ahead and shut the music off for right now. And let's pay attention, because we're going to need to. Alright, first, I believe the aircraft could be descending quite quickly. So we need to be at 13,000 at Azak, roughly, at that altitude. Alright, let's double check the weather once again. And ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, here's your captain speaking. As we start descent into Haneda. Should be on the ground in about 30 minutes. We are getting a little bit of rain out of Haneda, scattered clouds, all the way up to 1,000 feet. Minor winds coming out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour, 9 degrees Celsius, which would be 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you for flying Japan Airlines today. We appreciate your business. We'll see you on another Japan Airlines flight very soon. Flight attendants, please be at the cap for a run. Alright, cool. So we got our announcement out of the way. And ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, here's your captain speaking. As we start descent into Haneda. Should be on the ground in about 30 minutes. We are getting a little bit of rain out of Haneda, scattered clouds, all the way up to 1,000 feet. Minor winds coming out of the northwest at 6 miles per hour, 9 degrees Celsius, which would be 48 degrees Fahrenheit. Thank you for flying Japan Airlines today. We appreciate your business. We'll see you on another. Didn't record the whole thing. Alright, so let's go to our arrival page, which is... let's take a look at our arrival here. The arrival is this. Okay, let's go ahead and, whoops, why do I keep doing that? Let's go to cancel that. Alright, we're a little fast here. We're gonna need to drop out some spoilers here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a controlled descent. So we're going to click on this. See, it's got us at 4,500 feet per minute. So let's go to 22. Look at that. Ooh. And let's go ahead and now shoot for 2,500 feet per minute. And let's go ahead and turn our engine sounds up. cool if we could just vector ourselves from here to Wedge, but I don't know if we're gonna be in the range of 8,000 feet, which at Wedge we need to be at 8,000 feet. And we're still pretty high. Going down our takeoff and approach page. 142 on our approach with a 2020 on our flap system, which we are configured for that, which is good. Yeah. Okay. Put that back there. Let's go put him on takeoff. About at 14,000. Let's go ahead and dial this back to about 2,100 feet per minute. Let's get this airplane to slow down a little bit. Go to 17 is fine. Or 1,600 feet per minute. And let's go ahead and get our altimeter in. Let's refresh the METAR page. Altimeter is showing 2979er. 2979er, 2979er. All right. See, now we're way high. So at this point, what we could do is we can hold at 12,000. And we'll go ahead and altitude hold right here. And we can go direct to Wedge now. So let's go here. All right, so let's go direct to Wedge. We'll insert that. So we are 18.7 miles to Wedge, and at Wedge we need to be at 8,000 feet. So we got 8,000 plugged in here, so we're at 18.6 miles. So let's do a nice slow descent, about maybe 800 feet per minute. So Wedge is at 8,000, beautiful. And we are slowly descending. Go ahead and slow our speed down to about 315 is fine. Alright, so that's calculating that we're going to be up here, so we need to descend a little bit faster now. So let's go to about 1,500 feet per minute. And it's reporting we'll be about there, so let's go to 1,600 and 1,700, looks good. We're at about 10,000 feet almost. We're going to go ahead and just take care of our landing lights. Wing lights coming on, landing lights coming on, logo light on. We can also get our strobe to the on position as well. We're at 10,000 feet, so we can go ahead and turn on the ignition to continuous. Decision height is at 200, is reporting on our charts, and our localizer is 108.9er, course of 337. Let's go ahead and plug in the course of 337. Oops, I'm sorry, that's not the right one.
We have begun our final descent into Tokyo. Flight attendants will be passing through the cabin to collect any trash one final time. Please ensure tray tables are stowed and seats are in the full upright position. Please also store any carry-on
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and
items
slow
either
down
in the
now
pocket
to.
or under the seat when it's
Let's go ahead and slow down to 250. Probably go ahead and get some flaps out, some spoilers. Alright, so let's go ahead and remove this and let's get in our ILS. Alright, let's go ahead and arm our spoilers. And let's keep slowing down actually. Let's go down to 220 now. Let's go ahead and drop to 5,000 now. Let's do 16. Let's actually do 18. Sign set. Briefing is confirmed. ECAM status is set. Altimeters are set. Minimums are set. Ignition is required. Landing elevation has been set. Landing gear down. Auto brake is set to low. Landing systems on. So we're going to hold at 6,000. You know what? We're gonna hold at 5,000. You see the airport's right there? Oh no. Come on, load in. There we go. Yeah, frames are going to take a hit. It may have to cancel out FSLTO. Alright, so let's slow down a little bit more here. Some spoilers. Alright, beautiful. I think it looks good here. Alright, so we have localizers we can see here. So we're going to hold at 2. Excuse me, we're going to hold at 5,000. And we're going to go with slats. Let's drop down to 210. Got our slats out. This is a high fidelity aircraft, so this is not an airplane that you just jump in and fly. This is a handful. And then we have our landing. We're a little bit high now. Hopefully it'll correct itself. So it's pushing down. It's going to catch up with the glide slope, hopefully. it is not doing it. See if we can catch up with it. Let's go gear. It's okay, we're a little high. We're going to make the corrections that we need to. I don't think the glide slope was captured, unfortunately. Alright, gear down, 3 green, as we can see right here. Alright, so there's the glide slope. So let's go now and... So I believe it's capturing the glide slope now. Let's go... Alright, so yeah, it looks like it's trying to get it now. Is it going to get it? Alright, so we're at flaps, additional flaps. It doesn't look like it's capturing it. Alright, looks like we're going to be going full manual here. Let's go ahead and push the nose down. We need it to capture the glide slope. So at this point, you just want to go full manual. Flaps out. The approach speed is 142. Turn that off. Alright, the winds seem pretty calm, which is good. Let's do 145. Actually, 146 sounds good. Throttles. Alright, a little low. Whoa, wind's updated there. So this would be an RNAV approach at this point. Yeah, definitely low. There we go, getting a little bit back on profile here.
300. Too low, flaps. Too low, flaps. Too low, flaps. Too low, flaps.
No.
Too low, flaps.
Okay.
Too low, flaps. Too low, flaps. 100.
So unfortunately, did not capture glide slope there. As we can see, we have really bad FPS.
Gentlemen, welcome to Tokyo.
Go ahead and
The local
do
time
is go to this guy. We're going to
9:22
stop,
a.m.,
confirm.
And it's currently about 11 degrees Celsius. You can now use your mobile devices.
In increased our FPS quite a bit.
Aircraft has come to a complete stop and the seatbelt sign is turned off. Remember to use caution when opening the overhead bin as items may have shifted during the flight. Thank you for flying with us and we hope to see you again soon.
Alright folks, welcome to Haneda. Kind of a little bit of a tricky arrival there. Let's go ahead and clean up the airplane, retract our flaps. But we made it, even though we didn't capture the glide slope. It's kind of just an RNAV arrival. Alright, let's double check the flaps are clean. Flaps are clean, spoilers have been disarmed. And we can go ahead and turn off our wing lights coming off. Go to taxi light on, strobes coming off, and runway turnoffs can come on. Let's go down, turn our master APU, and we'll go ahead and start the APU. Turn this guy into the opposition or ignition. So people are 74% satisfied. Okay. It's all good. Let's go ahead and actually turn off these, turn down these engines a little bit. Tokyo. Not the best landing, not the worst. We have it, folks. Go ahead and set the parking brake. Come on up here. Is this APU available? It is. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and turn on the APU bleed. Engine number 2 and engine number 1 coming down. And get over to the aircraft here. Get our jetway, catering, baggage, power units. Wow, that's loud. Catering, baggage, power. Beautiful. Let's come on over here. Let's go to... Don't have external power yet, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off our seatbelt signs. That's coming off. These lights all should have been off already. And we can go ahead and turn that off. Taxi light coming up. All our lights are off. Clear that alarm. Come on down over here to our bulk. Excuse me, this guy. Forward cargo going to the open position. Yeah, frames are 18. It's real bad. Okay, come on up here to turn off our ATSs, and that's about it. We'll go ahead and just shut the power off to the aircraft, and the APU can come on down as well. And the aircraft should shut down. I wish Microsoft would reverse this. That'd be kind of cool. It's like putting baggage in. You're supposed to take the baggage off. So our APU is now spooling down, and everything is now off in the cockpit here. Beautiful. Well, folks, that was a relatively successful flight to Haneda. Enjoyed that one. Even though we didn't capture glide slope, we still made our correction. We did forget to extend our flaps at the very end there to flaps 20. We're on flaps 15, I believe. But nevertheless, we made it safely. The landing was, we did pass the 1,000 footers a little bit, but we still landed. I would say in the real world, that was probably an illegal landing, or just on the border of it. But we still made it. And we are now going to take a break and start the setup back to Hiroshima. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the music on, and I'll see you guys in about 5 minutes. I'm going to restart the sim. Welcome back, guys. Back in the sim. Nice and fresh restart of the sim. Here on the ground in Tokyo Haneda International Airport. And without further ado, let's get right to it. Sitting down here in a cold and dark state, let's go ahead and come on up and start some power to the aircraft. 1, 2, and 3 external power is available. Come on upstairs. Nav 1, Nav 3, and Nav 2. Beautiful. Crew oxygen supply come to the on position, and our galley can come to the on position. Seatbelt signs coming on, and our no smoking sign coming on. Come on down here to our EFB, and let's get the weights page up. Today we are going to be, according to SimBrief, what do we got today? I filed for quite a less amount of passengers. We're at 186 on the passengers here. 186. 186. The fuel today on today's flight is going to need to be 30,578, so we'll do 30,600. Oops, that's not right. 30,600. $30,700. Not too worried about 100 pounds. More is actually better. 30,700. And the zero fuel weight today is 251.4. That's quite high. 251.4. That is not correct. There must have been an issue there. I mean, I did put it to auto. Let's go ahead and edit this. And let's see here. 254 freight. We're going to put to auto. Zero fuel weight is going to be set to auto. Let's generate that, see what that gives us. Let's see here. Zero fuel weight is 236. That makes a lot more sense. Okay. So let's go to 236. 236 on the money, actually. That's 235,996. I mean, that's basically 236,000 pounds of our zero fuel weight. Beautiful. We're going to go ahead and apply that. The aircraft is now fully weighted with fuel. I'm going to go ahead and fire up Pack X. Start the flight. This time they want us at 36,000 feet. And we'll do a custom safety briefing of AirAsia again. We'll open that and we will start. Alright, cool. We haven't entered any information into our FMC. We're going to go ahead and remove this guy. Come on down over here. IRSs need to do their alignment init ref. And we're going to plug in our information now. So we're sitting on RJTT to RJOA. Return. We're going to align the IRSs. Boom. And let's get our flight plan up. RJTT to RJOA. Beautiful. We're now going to come down to our flight ID, which is JAL 154. Cruise today is 360. Quite high. And cost index, we're going to make it to 98. I want to try to get there a little quicker since we do have a headwind. Alternate is RJGG. Plug that in there, remove that, and we are good to go. Average wind is going to be 260 at 109. 260 at 109er. Enter that into the wind page. Beautiful. And then we're going to go to next here. Block fuel is gross weight, zero fuel weight. Fuel 30,600 pounds, 30.6. 230,000. And the zero fuel weight, 236 even. That's the fuel guy. We can see he's probably right here. Yeah, there he is. Cool. That gives us a CG of 23.4. And we're going up on a trim 1.6. About right there, beautiful. All right, now what we can do is we can, what else can we do here? Let's go ahead and get the APU to the, turn the APU on for right now. And all this information is good. Now we're gonna go to our flight plan here, RJTT. We are gonna be taking off of very short taxi here actually to runway 34 right. Basically the runway we just landed on. We're gonna be departing on. Runway 34 right on the Relac 2 departure. This is gonna be a cool departure because we're gonna see downtown Tokyo. Hopefully there's not many clouds. So we have Ritla 2 Charlie. Ritla 2 Charlie with no transition. We're gonna insert that in there. Come on down to Ritla. From Ritla, we're gonna be hopping on an airway, and it's gonna be Yankee 20, and that is gonna take us to Kami, which is a fix that we went to already. Actually, we don't need to do that. We just need to choose the option it gives us here, which is that one. From Kami, I believe we're going to go on another airway, which is going to be Yankee 202. And that's going to take us to Vista, which I'm not seeing Vista here. No worries. We're going to return. What we're going to do is we're just going to go to the flight plan, and we're going to come on down here. And I believe it's not giving it to us because it's a transition. So we're going to come to RJOA. We're going to plan for the 28, I believe, yep, because of the winds. So we're going to do the RNAV 28, and it's going to be the Vista. Oh, that's the problem. Oh, shoot, I was reading this wrong. Let's go back to flight plan. Let's go to Kami. From Kami, airway, and Yankee 202, and we're actually supposed to be on Amura. That was my bad there. And then we come to RJOA, the SID, and it's going to be the RNAV 28 Vista is going to be our arrival via. There is no via. Cool, insert. So if we go to the flight plan here, everything should be connected, I believe. Got one little disco there, no worries on that. And then that takes us right in for the arrival. Beautiful. Okay, so we'll get him on flight plan, and we're going to go to takeoff page here. We're going to come on upstairs. We're going to go ahead and start the APU. We're going to come on down over here, and we are going to go to our takeoff page. Plenty of runway. It is dry conditions, and the winds, according to the METAR report, is going to be a 300 at 3. Outside air temperature is 9 degrees Celsius. Enter that in there. QNH today is 2979er. 2979. Enter.
So that way other passengers can get by you. If you are seated in an emergency exit row, please review the exit team's responsibilities in a safety card provided for you.
And we are loaded up to 266.6.
If you're not, please let a flight attendant know so that way you can be reseated. Feel free to use your cell phones during the rest of the boarding process, but we do ask that laptops, tablets, and any other larger electronic devices.
It's going to be a flaps. Actually,
thank you and welcome aboard.
do we need flap? Yeah, we'll do flaps and slats 1515, and we're going to calculate that. Beautiful. 59 on our flex, 155, 157. Beautiful. All right, cool. We're gonna now our thing is all set up here. APU is available. We're going to go ahead and turn the APU on, and our external power is going to go to the opposition. I believe we can turn all this stuff on now. Beautiful. Flexing now to 57 flex. I'm sorry, 59, excuse me. We're just going to take our engines up to 95.2. We do have 58 elevation here, so we'll put that to 100. The same thing, 171 on our Mach speed. Not our Mach speed, on our airspeed here. Decision height going to -5. Decision height -5. Airport constraint. Beautiful. Keep that where it's at. And temperature outside 12 it's showing, but I'm showing 9. But that's okay. Let's just make sure our flight plan looks good. And taking up bum 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 bum. Bum 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 bum. Beautiful. Alright, our flight plan looks good. And let's say goodbye to all the crew outside catering, baggage, power. Beautiful. And let's go on to here. Let's go to pushback. Let's go to pre-plan our pushback. We're going to be facing nose this way here. So let's come on down and do a pushback right. Right there is fine. Just about ready to go here. Let's get this guy to... Ooh, I forgot TARA last time. So I believe we're all set here. Cockpit prep, completed signs are in the opposite. Actually, let's go up here to beacon lights coming on, nav's coming on. And we can go ahead and call for the push now. Let's go ahead to aircraft. We're going to get our jetway out. And we're going to request our pushback.
Cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
Altimeter's 29er 79er. Beautiful.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Before I forget that,
Parking
arm our
brake set.
spoilers
Lifting the
upon
aircraft.
takeoff. Everything looks good here.
We are cleared for start and push.
Park and brake is released.
Okay, cleared for push start.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
All right, let's get to it, boys. Fuel pump's coming to the on position.
We're ready to go when you want.
I know, thank you. And window heats are in the on position. Scroll on down here. Fire up engine number 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, and welcome aboard flight 154. Our flight time will be roughly 1 hour and 13 minutes. Now that the
And
cabin
2
door
is
closed,
on
please
the
make sure that
rise.
all devices are in airplane mode and your large devices are now shut down and stowed. Please fasten your seatbelt and make sure that all tray tables and seat backs are in the full upright and locked position for departure.
20%
Cabin
and
crew, keep your
2.
doors for departure.
Introduce fuel.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the screen for an important safety demonstration.
Let's hear those engines a little bit. Alright, so what we'll go ahead and do is...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome
Nice
aboard
little weather
AirAsia
update
X
there.
Airbus A310-300 series. As your safety is our utmost concern, this video will demonstrate the use of safety
Looks like we got a
equipment
good
carried
start.
on board this aircraft.
Just about a good start on
Please give your full
engine
attention
number
as the safety
2.
procedures for this aircraft may differ from other aircrafts you may have flown.
Take this up to 12,000.
Whenever the fasten seatbelt sign is on, you must return to your
Engine
seat
number
and
1.
fasten your seatbelt securely. To fasten, insert the metal tip
And
into
2
the
is on the
belt
rise.
and tighten the belt
Parking
and
brake
pull
is
the
set.
buckle strap. To
Parking brake
unfasten,
set.
lift the metal flap like
Parking
this.
brake set. Lowering aircraft.
The cabin pressure is controlled for your comfort. Should there be a change in
Ground,
cabin
you may
pressure,
disconnect.
oxygen mask will automatically
And we're at
drop
20%.
above your seat.
Pin has been removed. See you at
Remain
the
in your
side.
seat
Have a
and
good
immediately
flight.
pull the mask firmly to
Green
one
light
side.
coming on.
Waiting for the visual. Thank
Place
you
the
and
mask over
goodbye.
your nose and mouth with a headband secured tightly around your head and breathe normally. Place your own mask first before assisting others under your care. Your life jacket is stowed under your seat. In the unlikely event of a landing on water, remove the jacket from its container and slip it over your head like this.
So swap over a
Clip
power
on the
there.
waistband and pull them tight. Before leaving the aircraft, pull both tags sharply to inflate your life jacket. Do not inflate your life jacket until you are at the exit, as this would impede evacuation flow. Your life jacket has 2
Alright, looks like we
mouthpieces for
got
further
good
inflation.
start on engine
This light will
number
come on when in
1.
contact with
Let's go
water.
ahead and
Use
shoot this
whistle
over to
attract
continuous.
attention.
We're going to go ahead and turn off
Evacuation
the
slides are
APU.
located at all
APU
exits.
is now going
Take
to come
note
to
of
the
where
off
the
position.
emergency exits are located on this aircraft. And please bear in mind that the nearest exits may be behind you.
Turn flaps and slats.
In the event of a landing on water, slide rafts are located at all exits. During
Parking brake
evacuation,
released.
leave your belongings behind. If smoke is present, please keep low and follow the floor lights to the nearest exits as indicated. Please take a moment to study the safety card in your seat pocket, which shows
Nav
details
profile.
of safety features and emergency escape routes of the
Short
aircraft.
taxi here, folks.
Passengers seated next to an
Wing light
emergency
staying off.
exit
Nose
are
light
requested
coming
to study
on.
the operation of these exits in the safety card. As this is a non-smoking flight, please do not smoke throughout the flight. Smoking in the lavatories will set off the smoke alarm. Before takeoff and landing, please ensure that your tray table is stowed away. Your seat is in the upright position with your armrest down and your footrest up. Please ensure that your window shades are fully open with your seatbelt securely fastened. Before takeoff and landing, please ensure that all portable electronic devices are turned off, as they can interfere with the navigational equipment on board. Thank you for your attention, and we wish you a safe and pleasant flight.
Our rotate is at 157. Alright, we're out of the taxi area. Runway turnoff's coming to the on position. Go ahead and probably turn the wing lights on. Actually, nav. Yeah, let's get the... No, keep that where it's at. Wing light.
Cabin is ready.
Turn that on. Beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, here's your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Japan Airlines Flight 154, service to Hiroshima. We are number 1 for takeoff. Airtime is 53 minutes. It's a pleasure having you on board. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure. Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight deck, here's your captain speaking. Welcome aboard Japan Airlines Flight 154, service to Hiroshima. We are number 1 for takeoff. Airtime is 53 minutes. It's a pleasure having you on board. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for departure. So right as we take off, it's going to be a pretty quick right turn out. boys, gals, let's do it. TARA on our low traffic system. 12,000 initial climb. We are under profile and nav. Frames are going to be hit hard here. All right, throttle's up to 50%. Let's do it. And 50% is stable and toga. Robe heat. Oh shit. Forgot about that. Nothing to see here, folks. Nothing to see here. A bit of a crosswind there. Ooh. All right, 120 knots. And V1. Rotate. Positive rate of climb. Gears going up. Oh. And we crashed. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate. Don't know. Guess the graphics card was overloaded with the streaming and with the... yeah, no. Oh, well. Yeah, the graphics card was unfortunately probably overloaded with the city and the streaming at the same time. I am using this graphics card streaming and the simulator, and I'm on a GTX 1070. So a GTX 1070 is about a 6-year-old card now, and unfortunately, it wasn't hot because see, it's at 39 degrees Celsius. If I go back to the GPU heat here, or usage, I don't know. At any rate, it doesn't matter. So let's go to Task Manager, see what Task Manager says. Let's go to... Yeah, the GPU was not hot. I have a fan. I have my case open with a fan blowing directly at the components. So it's not the heat. It was the fact that it was overloaded. Because I constantly get these messages, like this message here, that it's overloaded. You know, frames can't handle the streaming and the frames and everything. So fortunately, that's going to be it from me. I do apologize. Turn on a little bit of music for the outro here. Flight simulation experience. We'll be back for another stream tomorrow, hopefully. I do apologize. It seems like I can never get 2 full streams in, 2 full flights in. There's always something that happens. It's not the graphics driver, because all the latest graphics drivers have actually been freezing my sim. So I have one driver I'm using, which is perfect. It's not causing any issues. And every time I fly solo without streaming, which I don't stream very much, the sim never crashes. So it's definitely an overload on the graphics card with the streaming and rendering the game and whatnot. So it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, guys. I'll see you all in the next one.